Hello, my name is Mike Boyce, and I'm partners with Melanie Lucero. We're both realtors here at Lake Anna, and I'm here to give you a real estate market update. And I'm going to talk about what's been in the news and what everybody is kind of getting amped up about. And I want to explain what those numbers mean. So recently, we've seen in the media that they've come out with U.S. foreclosures have surged 115%. U.S. foreclosure activity doubles annually. Foreclosure filings rose 115%. So this isn't any surprise. The media is trying to use, as usual, scare tactics and cause panic because what makes real stories? Fear. So in this case, this 115% is a little deceiving because they leave out a lot of content with it. And I'm going to go over that content next. Now we're going to go over the data from Adam. Adam is an overall collection of real estate data all across the United States. And they came out with their 2022 report on foreclosures. And it covered default notices, scheduled auctions, bank repossessions, and that they were reported over 300,000 foreclosures for properties in 2022. This is where they grabbed that number from. They grabbed that 115% year over year from this report, and it's from 2021. But here's the thing. The media neglected to mention it's actually down 34% from 2019. And when I show the overall graph, I think what you're going to see is a decline of foreclosures over time. And you're also going to see there's 2 years specifically why it dropped, and then why this number actually it can be easily misunderstood if you don't understand those 2 years. Now, I do want to add one more thing. Foreclosure filings in 2022 were also down 89% from the peak in 2010 of 2.9 million foreclosures in 1 year. So the difference is a little over 300,000 last year, and they're claiming it's a 115% increase. But look at the difference of a decline from 2010 when there was 2.9 million foreclosures. Okay, this is a chart showing U.S. properties and foreclosure filings year over year. And we talked about this 2010 timeframe of 2.9 million in 1 year, 2.9 million in 1 year. However, look at the decline, okay? See the decline year over year, 2016, 2017, 677,000. Now, here's what I want to talk about. We talked about the 115% increase. What they're doing is they're comparing 2021 to 2022. Now, if you remember, what is the big factor between 2020 and 2021? Well, that was the pandemic, right? During that pandemic, we had special programs that gave forbearance of their mortgages. It was impossible to foreclose on a home. They protected that because of everything that was going on. So because of that, you see these numbers actually decline further than normal, more than the normal trend. But if you really look, if it was a normal time, I think what we would have saw was the same downtrend as we saw year over year since 2010. So looking at the media and seeing a 115% increase, you really need to look at the overall picture to see what we're having year over year is an actual decline of foreclosures, which is good news. But good news maybe not be the best thing to be reporting in the media. One reason we want to bring this information to you is so that you can understand the overall context of everything. So let's dig a little further into a little bit more micro look at this chart. Over 1 million fewer foreclosures over the last 3 years. So I didn't see any big headlines on that. 2017, 2018, 2019, we still see a decline. Then what we see, again, we're talking about these 2 years here where there was certain regulations in place that reduced it. And then we see that this trend is still down. Overall, again, what the media isn't reporting is that there's 1 million fewer foreclosures. So it's not as bad of news as you would think. I think it's important to reinforce the information I'm trying to provide for people. Rick Sharga, the Executive VP of Market Intelligence for Adam, the data collection service, says 18 months after the end of the government's foreclosure moratorium, and with less than 5% of the 8.4 million borrowers who entered into the CARES Act forbearance program remaining, foreclosures activity remains significantly lower than it was prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. And it seems clear that the government and mortgage industry efforts during the pandemic, coupled with a strong economy, have helped prevent millions of unnecessary foreclosures. So again, more information that wasn't reported. giving the overall content of really what that 115% increase means. Okay, the next quote is from Bill McBride, founder of Calculated Risk newsletter. And what he says is the bottom line is there will be an increase in foreclosures over the next year from the record low levels, but there will not be a huge wave of distressed sales as happened following the housing bubble. The distressed sales during the housing bust led to cascading price declines, and that will not happen this time. So people who are worried or they're predicting, if you don't get into the details of this information, it's easy to start to feel fear and think that everything's going to crash. And I've had so many people say that that's what's going to happen, but the data is just not pointing to that. And we want to make sure we share that with everyone. Okay, everyone knows that because of inflation and the rates, that we have seen a decline in home sales. We still have a shortage of inventory, which still makes it a seller's market. And existing home sales fell for the 11th consecutive month in December, hitting the slowest pace since November 2010, is what they reported in the media. Okay, existing homes fall 1.5 in December, marking an 11-month decline. So I'm going to get into these numbers and explain what exactly does this mean and how much of a decline is there. The realities is homes are still selling. People are still buying. There's still a shortage of inventory. And over 11,000 homes sell every single day still here in the U.S. And that's based on NARS, which is the National Association of Realtors. Their data showing that still 11,000 homes a day are being sold. Now let me explain what that really means. In the time it took me to do this video, about 16 to 24 homes were sold during the time I was doing this video. And the time it took me to do the video and edit it and make all my mistakes and pull those out of the video, a lot more homes are sold. So have no misunderstanding. Homes are still selling. Buyers are entering the market. It's just a different shift. It's a different way of handling. We're kind of returning more to a normal market. And it's very important to get with someone who is studying this data and understands it so that when you're either selling your home, they know how to price it correctly for the current market. They know how to market it correctly. Or if you're buying a home, what power you have now that you didn't have before when the market was just going crazy. It's extremely important to not have fear. Talk to someone who knows what they're doing and decide if it's the right time for you and everything works out for your benefit, whether you're selling or buying the home. And the only way to do that is to sit down and look at all the data accurately and all the content behind everything that's being reported. In this quote from Lawrence Yun, the chief economist for NAR, he said, December was another difficult month for buyers. In this quote from Lawrence Yun, chief economist for NAR, he says, December was another difficult month for buyers who continue to face limited inventory and high mortgage rates. Now listen, the next part's extremely important. Expect sales to pick up again soon since mortgage rates have markedly declined after peaking late last year. We saw the rates start to, retract a little bit and forgive a little bit and bring it back so that there was less fear. So we did see more buyers coming in the market. We're also seeing that in January. So when people notice this information and they see this data and their data supporting it, we're still seeing homes being sold and buyers on the market looking for them. If you're interested in real estate, if you would like to sit down with us, Melanie or myself, and go over the data of the current market, what it looks like, how much your home would be valued at, what opportunities you have. Now, whether it's selling your home or whether you're in the market to buy, or if you're still looking for investment properties, we have the expertise to sit down and show you what's available and what your position is to enter this current market. Reach out to us for any questions.